Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What up, Bebop Group? Welcome back to the channel. It is Manga Monday. Now, first of all, I know I missed it the first Monday of the month. That's because I was at A-Kon, an anime convention right here in Dallas. So I went to that, did that for over the weekend, so I didn't upload Manga Monday last Monday. But we're getting back to it now. So as long as I do at least a Manga Monday a month, I think I'm okay. But we're going to get into the manga from the previous month. So, real quick, starting off, Rainbow Days Volume 4. So, still reading this manga, it's still great. I still love the idea of the fact that 4 boys looking for romance, still a good concept. I haven't actually read this volume yet, so I'm not sure what's happening, but I do love the artwork for it. I really do like the artwork by itself, just phenomenally beautiful. I really do love it. I do enjoy the manga so far. So, the fact that it is a slice of life romance, right up my alley. So next manga we have is again by what has probably become one of my favorite romance authors, Ayo Sakisaka. But Love Me, Let Me Not, basic concept, which I have volumes 6, 7, and 8 here. I can't remember if the manga is actually done or not. I can't remember. I can look it up, but I'm not going to. Anyway, the concept, pretty much two girls encounter each other and they start a very nice friendship. And they have this idea of, what is love? Is there a realistic version of love? Is there this fantasy fantasy version of love and everything? And those two ideas, that's kind of how they picture love and everything. But in the end, they're like the sweetest friends. I do love that aspect of it. I can't remember both their names. I was like, okay, so I don't have. This is one of the girls. I can't remember her name right now. If I could tell you, I would let you know. Let's see. One's Yuna. Okay, I can't remember the names right now. But the two main guys, right here, right. So, blonde right here. This is the brother of main girl here, and pretty much main girl. That one likes this guy. And the friend likes the brother. So there's a very, very sensible romance in this somewhere. And it's actually very sweet. It's very wholesome. It's a very friendship driven thing. And just nice. Just a nice, decent, very easy read. And at first I got into I think it was either volume 2 or 3. And there was a kind of a plot change or plot reveal. That the brother and sister aren't blood related, and I was like, okay, as long as they don't take it into a weird little weird way, then it should be fine. So overall it's fine. They don't really do anything with that plot very much. It doesn't build anything. It does strengthen the siblingship between those two. So I do like that. So it didn't go anything or make the manga any kind of weird. So it is fine. Love Me, Let Me Not is very good. I don't know if I like it better than Aruharurai. I don't think I do. I think Aruharurai is probably still my favorite from Ai Sakisaka. I think that's still Aruharurai is still my probably choice between her writings. Her art is beautiful. I love her art. So, but if you like Aruharurai, if you like slice of life romance, kind of like what can I compare Love Me, Let Me Not to? I would say maybe Orange, but Orange had a kind of weird Back to the Future type of thing deal with it. Kind of, it was like involving letters. I don't know what to relate it to. It's not like I can't really think of something like Rob the Back I have to Cup to relate it to, because it's not like Toradora. Toradora had a very tsundere type of feel, and I'm not very into the tsundere thing for the most part. But I'll think of something. Big pickup here. It was My Dress of Darling Volume 8. So I actually forgot to include this on my last Manga Monday. And that's because it came out, but I couldn't find it when it came out. And I picked it up later today. I think it was like the day right after I recorded Manga Monday, or I posted it or something, that I found the volume. So I was like, okay, cool. Picked it up, immediately read it that same day because, My Dress of Darling is fantastic. And this one is really cool. It shows a whole different cosplay. That's interesting. And so, Modding is cosplaying or doing a reverse cosplay, a gender swap of a character. Not gender swap. No, hold on. It's not even a gender swap. I think the character that she's cosplaying is a woman, but she works at a cafe where she dresses like a dude. I don't know. It gets very confusing the fact that she cosplays manga anime characters inside of her own manga, and it's just related to that manga. So it's very confusing. But pretty much she cosplays this very attractive woman. I guess I can't remember the exact plot. I can't remember the character, but it's beautiful. But there's a scene in here which I thought was phenomenal, and this is the scene where Gojo's about to do Marine's makeup and everything, and he has to do one of those like slap and get himself together type of thing. It's a really cool scene because how intense he gets and how intense he looks is so cool. I'm trying to figure out how I find it. Oh, look. All right, so yeah, he's about to like put Marine's makeup on in front of like their entire class, which is like the first time like he's have to do it in front of this many people. So it's Gojo. He gets very nervous. But he ends up taking a minute, taking a breath. Cool. Yeah, see, here he does this little, all right, gotta get pumped, gotta get into it. And I can't wait for this to be animated because he gets a very serious face. Like that's a dope face. Like that's like the dude, I'm about to go to work. And he starts working, right? You see, like you could kind of feel the intensity while reading it, like what's going on, because it's just quiet. Like his entire class is just quiet and just awestruck as how intense he's doing this. And he was like, how are they? Because they were very. If you read the manga and everything, you read the chapter, you hear like they were talking very loudly beforehand, and now they're just intensely looking at him as he pretty much does Marine's makeup. Like this right here. Like I can't wait for this to be animated because this is just a good intense scene for Gojo, and I like that. I gotta give him a good pump up, right? And the entire time of it, you see him kind of like how he paints or how he did detail for his for the dolls he does, the geisha dolls, and it's the same thing as kind of contrast of how he's now doing it from geisha dolls and how it translates to actual people and vice versa. So as he does it, he's like amazing. And so this is the character Modding cosplays as, and she ends up. I don't really want to spoil anything, but there's a moment where here it goes. I can't wait for this to be anime too, because this is just a dope little scene, right? Like, oh shit, and that's Modding. Doesn't look like her, which is cool, but cosplay, right? But that's my Dress Up Darling Body Mate. It's very cool. It's all about their festival, and Marion is doing the cosplay contest for the school and everything, so it's just real cool. All right, Run a Girlfriend, Volume 18. I am still collecting this series. I know a lot of people, I think I've said this before, they don't like it. They find it a little cringeworthy, but I find some redemption in it because of how strong the guy character becomes. So I think it's very, I want to say somewhat grounded in that idea because it's very realistic, and people sometimes find what's somewhat real to be somewhat cringy, and I understand that. Is it like the best manga out there? No, but it does still have these very grounded and moments of levity, which I do think is nice. And I think this, like I said, I haven't really caught up with this one right now. I haven't read this one. Like I pick the volumes up. I don't read them verbatim like I do my Dress Up Darling, but I do know like I know that it does pick up a bit. I think the manga's somewhat coming close to end. I'm assuming it's going to end like maybe 24 volumes. My Dress Up Darling is I don't want to say it's a niche series, but it's a very, I guess that's a niche audience for the most part. If you like it, you like it. You don't. It's just, it falls in that line of, it's not going to be a phenomenal anime or a manga. It's not going to be one of those cliche, dumpster ones. I think it falls right in the middle. If I have to rate my Rent a Girlfriend, I wouldn't give it like a 8 or anything. I wouldn't give it anything as like a 5. I would probably put it like right in the middle. Like I'll give you a 6. You're fine. You might get a 7 depending, because Chizuru is amazing, and everything. So there are some moments that are great. Overall, the manga is just like, it's kind of borderline like ours right there. If you like somewhat edgy stuff, somewhat, I can't even say that's very, very romantic scenes. There are very sweet scenes in there, but that's really about it. There's nothing very romanticized about it, because they're still in this whole aspect of he's renting the girlfriend. I'm like, it's like, y'all could have kind of got away from that at a certain point and just made the series elaborate. I think that's where the real fault in it is that for Rent a Girlfriend, they never went away from that he's still renting her, you know? And I think that's the downfall of it. I'm not like, I'm only saying that because at some point something needs to change in the status quo of it. And this isn't, if you've watched the anime, if you read any part of the manga up to a certain volume, you know that at some point Chizuru does have feelings for, you know, F-boy over there. And it's just, at that point, it was like, okay, y'all should have made a turning point maybe 2-3 volumes after that. Something should have changed. But the dynamic doesn't change at all. So he still rents her. She still pretends she doesn't like him. This, that, and the other. She hides her feelings. And that's what becomes ridiculous. He mans up a little bit more here and there. But there's not enough of a change, of a pivot point, like you see with most other slice of life and romance manga. They don't make a pivot point to change enough. And you would think that's somewhat realistic, right? Okay, like nobody changes that fast. But at the same time, like, you know, somebody has an awakening, they have like something just snaps to them, like, oh no, I need to change this. And that's how most people realize it, and that's how things happen. That's what manga is supposed to be like. There has to be a point where something changes. He has small pivots.
Pivot! 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 Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Like he does like a small pivot here, change there. And that's great because he's slowly becoming, you know, more into his own person, which I think is somewhat realistic, but it's a little bit too slow paced. And I think that's where the manga kind of loses people. If they would kind of pick that up a little bit and like just rev it up just a little bit. I'm not saying like rev it up to where he does a complete 180, but that's why I think Run a Girlfriend probably audience is kind of falling off and you're not getting as much with it. Anyway, off of that. My next manga, which is the one I've been loving, you can probably tell because I picked up 4 more volumes, and that is Zom 100. I picked up volumes 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yes, I picked up 4 volumes of this because this is amazing. I love the zombie thing, man. Dude, it's just them going across country, cross country, and just in the RV and living it up. Like literally, it's like, okay, we don't know when we're gonna die. We're gonna just live it up, and it's phenomenal. So it has moments of legit levity. They pick up a new traveling companion, which is dope, and it's just awesome because now it's just all out hell. It's so cool. It's nothing like whatchamacallit, Walking Dead. It's something like that. This is, again, a lot more comedy, a lot more, you know, based on like, oh god, this is the world now. But they have fun with it. It's the zombie apocalypse, and they're like, everybody's like, oh my god, the world's coming to an end. It's horrible. What do we do? People taking advantage of people and stuff like that. You know, basic zombie stuff. But they're like the Ashton Kutcher and Do Where's My Car type of situation. They're just having fun. They're just rolling with it. And I mean, dude, that's how I would think the zombie apocalypse kind of should be. You have to have those moments of just, you know, breathe and like, cool, like just, yeah, let it go and just chill out, right? Because even though like the world's coming down, I mean, doesn't mean you still can't enjoy moments of it or segments of it or just enjoy those moments. Because, you know, I think this manga is very cool because, again, how it starts, the premise is the dude's in a dead-end job for like 3 years. not a dead end job, but he's in a job that he legit despises. Zombie apocalypse happens. He gets to just let it go. He's like, I don't have to go to this soul crushing, mind numbing thing. He gets to just live, and he lives every day till like it's his last, because it could be. And that's very, cliche and everything, but in those type of things, like where you have a bunch of shoujo manga, or shonen manga, that's just like big battles and everything. This guy is just like, I'm not particularly fighting zombies. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I'm gonna clear my bucket list of things I always want to do, and he does. And I'm like, this is cool and this is nice. And also, I've talked about this before, because like there's not that many zombie mangas anymore, which kind of sucks, because they just don't make them as much. My favorite being High School to Dead, but no, I love Zombie 100. If you really enjoy this, I say go pick it up. It is cool. It's amazing. It's just a fun read. And I'm pretty much caught up with the volumes right now. So they only have 9 volumes out right now for the English. I don't know when volume 10 comes out, but I'm caught up on it. So now I have to just read it monthly, bi-monthly, however long it takes for the next volume to come out. All right. Now, final manga for this month, and it's a manga, the final volume that I've been waiting for I don't know how long. I think it's been like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 years. I can't remember. I really can't tell you how long it's been, because they have not put this volume out. It's been out for a long time in Japan, because the series ended a long time ago. Had an anime adaptation finish. And I've been waiting for this volume. It is Horror Media Volume 16. Yes, Volume 16 finally came out. And I'll be honest, I have to reread Horror Media, because I generally was like, what happened in it? Not that I don't remember the story. I don't remember but Horror Media is more of a slice of life romance as well. So there's small things that happen between it. I know Hori and Miyamura are good, but it took them so long to release the final volume. And it's annoying, because I'm just like, y'all took years to release this. Years. I read this before the anime got released, and I was like, okay, cool. And as I'm reading them, it's like, I thought volume 15 was the last one. Come to find out, there's a volume 16, but never gets released in America, because they delayed it for so long. Which, what the hell is up with that? Don't delay the manga, because if the anime finishes before the manga finishes, you have a George R.R. Martin situation with Game of Thrones, where the show stops, but the books aren't done. And now I'm like, you're leaving me kind of in the dark here, because I don't know what did they change or not, right? Yeah, I know I could read it online, but I don't read my manga online anymore. I don't read much. If I collect it physically, I'm going to read it physically. But no, I'm happy. My Horror Media collection is complete. Finally, all 16 volumes. I'm happy about that.
2 very boring minutes later.
Probably one of the sweetest anime or manga you could ever read. One of the sweetest animes you could ever watch. I think Horror Media is probably still second to Watakoi for me. But Horror Media was a manga I really want to collect. It's going to be, I want to say like the third manga series I've finished. It's interesting. All right. Well, guys, that's really about it. Again, go pick up these manga. Horror Media Volume 16. If you love that, go pick it up. Zom 100. Go pick it up. My Dress Up Darling Volume 8. Pick it up. And as well, if you have any manga you think I should try to read, if you've seen my manga collection so far, if you have any recommendations, let me know, because I would love to kind of get into it and see what else I can read. That's always cool to see what your recommendations are. But anyways, I want to thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Later, cowboy.